the big message for me to people is go create a story today.
I think like having something that you're working towards is always good. And it's just like, just find a reason to get started. And I think that's what we're saying, right? Is like the hardest part a lot of the time is getting started. And you'll be surprised how many people will help you along the way.
Listen up. We need to sleep better. So how do you sleep better? Never thought about it before. And so I met Jack, I met Essentia. Pay attention to the mattress you sleep on because it's loaded with chemicals.
Recovery, cooling, and pressure relief, all in one mattress. Up to 60% more deep and REM sleep. Less inflammation, faster bounce back. No toxins, no EMFs, no BS.
My buddy Jack over at Essentia, he's kind enough to give us a code for the Spartan community. That's DECA, that's Tough Mudder, all of us. Use Spartan25, get a discount. Prioritize your sleep so you can sleep faster, you can do more burpees, you can train more, you can get healthier. When you sleep well, you live well.
Joe DeSena, CEO, founder of Spartan, host of the Hard Way podcast. I have a very, very, very good friend on, Michael Wardian, one of my buddies, one of my inspirational friends, I would say. When I see what he does, when I talk to him, whether it's, nearby or from afar on social media, I'm like, damn it, I got to go run an extra mile today. I got to do something today. I got to bowl a little more, play pickleball. I got to do something because of Michael. Welcome aboard.
Hey man, it's so good to be here, man. I feel like you're the same, an inspiration to me. I love seeing all the things you guys have accomplished and are doing, and happy to be on, man.
Just tell everybody, we were delayed just now, which cost me an egg roll, which I shouldn't have ate. What were you doing? You're bowling? What are you doing?
I was, yeah, man. So I've been taking part in the Northern Virginia Senior Olympics. I just turned 51, so I'm a older athlete, and I get to be a young athlete compared to some of the 100-year-olds that I was bowling against today. So I signed up for literally, it was like the best deal ever. It's like $20, and I think you get to do. I signed up for like 45 events. So far, I have like 34 medals. I still have a couple events left to go. So far, I haven't medaled in like 5 things, but it's been really great. Like just to like. I saw some people that I played poker with like 2 weeks ago at bowling today. And so like I've really joined like the community, and you just get a chance to like be in a different mindset and just like a different part of the community that you don't normally see. Like I've learned like where all the retirement homes are. I know that like retirement homes have like senior Olympic teams. Like I'm literally like gonna try to get sponsored by like one of the like retirement homes for like the next one of those 55 and older communities. I'll be like, draft me, dude. Put me on your softball team. I can run, I can jump, I can like yesterday I was playing Scrabble. So like it's all different stuff, So it's been really fun, and I've been doing that for the last like 3 weeks.
So for those that don't know it, because I don't know it, Senior Olympics is 50 years old and up?
Yeah, it's in Northern Virginia. The way they run it is 50 years and above, and then for some of the events, it's like 5-year age groups. Like the Scrabble was just like everybody. The poker was like 70 and under, and then 70 and over. So it just depends on the events, like what they break it down like by category. But it's been fun.
You found a hole in the universe where you could compete at 51 against 100-year-olds. So you literally for the last few days, you've been just stealing gold medals and destroying dreams.
But mostly it's just against other 50-year-olds. So like, yeah, so they don't let me run against the 100-year-olds. They're at the same meet, but yeah, but it is so inspiring, dude. It's like those, USATF videos they send of like, the gun goes off and then the people start to run, and that's what I want to be when I get older. So, like, it was cool to see like what it looks like and just to get to meet the people and like, yeah, just be a part of the community.
So for those listening or watching, what you don't know is years ago, Michael and I found each other together at the finish line of a race, Spartan race in the Bahamas. I had just run the race carrying a rock. I tied a rope around the rock. I don't know if Michael knows this. And because I had to drag it during the swims, I had to get the rock through the whole race. And at one point I threw the rock over a wall. And what I failed to realize was the rope was very short. It ended up pulling my arm up. So I was hanging off the ground. The rock was on the other side. It was pretty funny. I get to the finish line. You and I meet. We hit it off right away. And you tell me that your dream is to knock out the 50-kilometer world championship record time on a treadmill. I was like, well, let's go do it right now. And you were like, well, I just did the Spartan race. I was like, so who cares? Let's just go do it right now. And I could tell, even now, anybody listening, watching, you're infectious. Like your energy, even probably for yourself, like you fuel your own energy, right? Like you're a nuclear power plant in some ways. You just make your own energy. So anyway, I convinced you, and we went over to the boat because I think the treadmill was on a cruise ship.
It
We got
was.
on, we set everything up. We got you like an ice cube and a Q-tip, and we said, let's go.
Well, and I think I used all my goos during the Spartan race. So like I had no nutrition at all. And then I think we just like went out to everybody and was like, does anyone have any leftover goodies? And so we just had a hodgepodge of like randomness.
Random nutrition. We were in a tiny little room on a cruise ship. We turned the treadmill on. You set it to the miles per hour you needed to set your record, kilometers per hour, and you started running.
Well, and also it was I think my wife and I's anniversary. So that was the biggest holdup to when you suggested like let's just do it today.
You had some personal things to deal with. But you couldn't resist, and so you got on the treadmill and you started running. And I forget what it was in time. How fast did you do it? Do you remember how fast you did it?
3 hours and 6 minutes for 50 kilometers.
So 3 hours, 6 minutes. Michael gets off the treadmill. Everybody's cheering. The whole Spartan community is like, this guy is a badass. Finished the Spartan race, knocked out an anniversary dinner, got on the treadmill, 3:06. You were happy. You went to bed with a smile on your face. Fast forward, I see you at breakfast and you got like a sourpuss on your face and you're mad. And I'm like, what's up, dude? You got the record yesterday. You had your anniversary. You got the Spartan race done. It's beautiful weather. You're like, oh, I didn't get the record. Turns out I was a few minutes off. I miscalculated. That's right, right?
Actually, somebody from London reached out and said like, oh, that's really cool, but you didn't break the record. You missed it by like 30 seconds or something. I was like, are you kidding me?
So I did what I always do so well, was I said, well, you know what you have to do now? And you were like, what? I was like, you got to go do it right now. We got to break it. And you, being the maniac, you rolled up your sleeves, put your socks on. We grabbed another couple of goos from somebody, and you went and did it.
I did, dude. Yeah, and I think our goal was to get it done before we got back to Miami, and we finished like, I don't know, maybe an hour before we docked. And we smoked it, dude, by like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Like it wasn't just me though. Like you jumped on the treadmill next to me for some of it. We had other people that jumped on. So it was a team effort, but like, yeah, you were definitely the catalyst behind it for sure. It was fun.
But it's great for people listening or watching just to know, like, think about that story we're telling. You're going to be telling that story forever, right? And just like you will around playing poker or Scrabble or bowling with like, and so we could sit in our homes, which most of us do, for 95% of our lives. That's a stat. That's a true stat. And we could watch Netflix and we could watch other people's stories, stare at our phone, or we could create stories like we just described that you did. The big message for me to people is go create a story today. You know, go do something bad. Get uncomfortable. It's raining out. Great. You're not going to drown. Go for a walk. Go for a run. So what have you been up to since then?
Since the last time, well, I think I went to your Spartan games during the pandemic. That was a big stretch for me. I'd say I accomplished a couple of my dreams that I've had, like, you know, besides the 50K on the treadmill. One of my big dreams was running across the country, raising money for charity. So I ran 3,332 miles from San Francisco to Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, all along Route 50, which is coincidentally the road that I live on here in Arlington, Virginia. So basically, I just got on Route 50 in Sacramento and ran all the way home along the same road. That was in 2022 from May 1st to July 1st. So that was a 60-day run. averaging 52 miles a day.
You're running, you're 59 days in or 59 and a half days in. You know what it feels like every night when you're done, right? Every night you feels like you go to bed. When you saw your house or you saw the neighborhood, because you knew was there a physiological change that like it was like almost like worse? Like, oh, I'm exhausted.
So I ran to Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, but we live in Arlington. So that is about 116 miles if you go straight and go across the Bay Bridge, but they wouldn't let me run across the Bay Bridge. So I had to go an extra 150 miles. So I ran to literally my house in Arlington and then had 3 days longer to get to the beach. So I literally ran to my house, got a drink, and then ran another 40 miles that day. Yeah, dude, there was no change. I was locked in. Like, I could do that the rest of my life. Like, by that point, I was 100% like a machine. It's kind of like last year I ran the Appalachian Trail in about it was 60 days also, which is funny because it's only 2,197 miles. But you living in Vermont, you know that that's different than running on highway. Like, that's like lots of vertical and changes. But when you see the people, when you see them, most of them are coming from the south and they're apex predators by the time they get to you. Like, they're churning out like 35, 40 miles a day and they are just shredded and everything's dialed. And that's exactly how I was when I ran across the country. And that's how you get when you do something like that repeatedly. Like, you just become like the whole thing. Like, it's just like who you are and what you do. And like, there's nothing else.
Your DNA change, everything changes.
100%. But at first, your body tries to kill you. Like, the first like 3 weeks, like your body is like, I don't want to do this. Everything hurts. But then you lock in and you go to this whole nother plane. It's just one of the most, and I'm sure there's people that are going to be listening to this have been a through hiker or done a big adventure where they know what we're talking about. But most people have had some glimpse of that, but it's very hard to find unless you are putting yourself through that day after day.
Yeah, I mean, you ever watch any of these movies like when they were building the railroads across the country or like, right? Like those really rugged times 100, 200, 500 years ago. And so you got a little taste of what that must have felt like back then.
Well, yeah, and you just think of like, I think of more even like the explorers like Lewis and Clark. Like, they were doing that stuff with no roads, just like bushwhacking the whole time and still making like 25, 30 miles a day. Like, that to me, like, blows my mind.
Yeah. And they were being hunted by animals and all kinds, right? Everything was trying to kill them.
Yes, 100%. Or like the conquistadors, like, obviously, like, not great that they take over a whole place, but like, there's basically like 300 dudes like marching around with like everything trying to kill them, including the people that they're trying to take over. And they're still like, all right, we're doing this, like it's super impressive.
How do we take the regular person who's not going to run across the US and may never get to that place where you feel locked in like that and you could just do this forever? What do we tell them to do their version of it, right? To go in the gym for 2 hours
I've got it. So I started this challenge back in July. It's 100 burpees a day for 100 days. And literally, like, I did it because I was missing working out with my buddies every day and I was feeling like kind of unaccountable. And so I wanted something to make myself accountable. And it's almost similar to like 70 or 70 hard or whatever it's called. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, whatever. But it's literally like a thing that you can do anywhere. It takes like 15 minutes. It's really, really hard, but not so hard that you can't do it. And when you're doing it, you're like, this really sucks. It's kind of like, I remember you carried around like a 30-pound dumbbell all the time. To me, it's like the practice of like being accountable to do something every day. I take a video every day and then I send it to a couple of my friends and then I post it to my stories. And it like holds me accountable, but then everyone else can see that you're doing it. And so it's one of those things where it's like, there's so many days I don't want to do it. And the hardest part is literally just the first 10.
just starting, You don't know this, but I'm the one that got you into burpees way back when. You were not.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I couldn't do a burpee before I met you guys. And then I failed so many of the stupid obstacles, and it was always the penalty was 30 burpees. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to fail that, but I'll catch them on the run.
You became Mr. Burpee. So I did lots and lots of streaks of huge volumes of burpees, and I agree with you. It removes the excuses. You could do it in a hotel room. You could do. There's just no excuse. You have to get to the airport at 4 in the morning. I've been in the Paris airport 4 in the morning. I got to do my burpees. I got to get them done.
I literally have gone in the corner at the airport, and then you just go in the bathroom and towel down, and then you're like, hey, yeah, I'm the weird dude that was over in the corner doing burpees.
So, and the thing is, for those listening, tell me if you agree. The thing is, like, it moves blood around like no other. Like, you could run, right? Where you're bouncing, and for you, you're probably so efficient at running, you don't even. But but burpees, it forces blood to move around the body.
100%. Well, and it's like really made me much stronger in the upper body, and like just yeah, just like a better athlete. Also, like it's like a stretching all in one. Like it's really like super impressive exercise.
I agree. I've added some pull-ups to the routine just because I want to get the pulling motion in addition to the pushing motion. So yeah, you and I are like, I love it. You might even be able to get 30 burpees in between, what do they call it in bowling? Between rounds? Between frames. Yeah, you might
Oh
be able.
yeah. Well, I thought about that, but then my parents were there, so I was kind of hanging out with them, and it was actually weird. They had us on 2 lanes, so like it would be like super fast between when we were throwing. It was cool though to learn like all the little like the people I was with had little like towels to like wipe the oil off, and they had chalk, and they had their own little bowling balls. I was like, "Ooh, I'm learning a lot here."
These are super professional bowlers. The thing I learned from a lot of Olympians and folks like yourself is, hey, Joe, hey, Mike, you're not going to want to do the burpees. You're going to wake up in the morning. You don't want to do it. Whatever it is, you don't want to run the 60 miles. You don't want to go to work, whatever the thing is. And I never considered what I'm about to tell you. They said, you can lie to yourself. I said, what do you mean? They said, just tell yourself you're going to do 5 today. And if and the act of doing the 5 leads to 15, which then leads to the 100. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah. I do that all the time. Or
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Oh, you can take a break after you do the first 10."
Yeah.
And then I'll go like and it's most of the time I just can do them like knock them out, but like if it really sucks that day, I'll go do like 30 and then go get a drink and then play a game of chess and then do another 30 if I lose and then 10 if I win or something. Like, yeah, you got to make it work. But my buddy and I, we've been joking. My buddy Tom and I, like, he had to do them. For me, I like working out first thing. I think you're kind of the same way. You like to get up early and get after it. So for me, it's almost harder if I wait for like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Like that is the worst time because that's like when I want to try to start good. My body's starting to get ready to go to bed, and if I haven't done my burpees, ooh, that is that is not a fun place to be. But it also like makes me super proud when I've done them.
I agree. It's like making your bed. It's done.
100%.
All right. So that's the physical part that you're recommending to folks that are stuck on the couch, which is most of us. What about the mental part? Like, what do you recommend from a mental perspective to create a shift in somebody's life?
I think the biggest thing for me that works, and I've seen this in other people, is to set a goal. And it doesn't even have to be like, run across the country or, you know, do a Spartan race, but it could be like, I'm going to go take a cab 10 miles from my house and walk back. Or it could be as big or as small as like, I'm going to do a 5K. Or I'm going to do the hiking trail that I've never done before, but I've always wanted to do. Yeah, it could be whatever gets people fired up and excited. And I think for me, it's like the bigger, more audacious the goal is, the better. Like I'm coaching some people, and they're like, I want to run a marathon in 2 months. And I think most coaches would be like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And I'm like, all right, let's see where you are. Like, and I have this other guy that I'm coaching that wants to run across like the Iberian Peninsula in Spain. And like he's never really run before. So like I'm starting him out with like just running 5K every other day just to see if he can handle the volume. But like I think like having something that you're working towards is always good. And it's just like just find a reason to get started. And I think that's what we're saying, right? Is like the hardest part a lot of the time is getting started. And you'll be surprised how many people will help you along the way. Like I'm doing my next big thing is I want to row across the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know how to row really. Like I've done like some 24-hour rows and stuff, but never in open water. Like I don't even know how to really navigate that well. Like I've gotten like I think one of the questions we're going to talk about is like what's the worst race? Like I got lost at Barkley, ended up like dropping out 2 years in a row because I can't find my way around the stupid woods, and now I'm going to go out in the big ocean. But like that's something that I'm excited about doing. And so I think like something that gets you passionate and fired up. Yeah, that I think is, how you get yourself off the couch and start doing the things that are going to get you where you want to go.
You need you basically saying, which is our philosophy, you need a purpose. You need something that's that's pulling you and forcing you to put down the cookie, wake up early, do those burpees, right? Like you need something, otherwise you're not going to do it.
And a lot of times, like I'm saying stuff that can be like internal, but like it could be like I do a lot of like volunteering stuff too. And so I think like just, find a organization that you're really passionate about. Like I work with like Achilles or like World Vision. Like there's a lot of different
Charities.
avenues.
Yeah.
Well, charities, but also like different ways that you can give back, and that can be a way like I pace like autistic athletes, like visually impaired athletes, like physically challenged athletes, and I think like that's one of the ways that like gets me super fired up. So I want to be fit enough that I can give them the proper support during the races.
Yeah, when what Shackleton's crew used to do, what Shackleton used to do to save is you put the weak person in charge, or the strong person in charge of the weak person, and all of a sudden you've got stuff working out there because you're in charge of somebody. Like if you got to help that person that's autistic do that run, you're now inspired. You're now getting the work, right?
100%, yeah. And those athletes deserve the chance to take part in these events. Like they're doing all the work all the time. They're putting in the long days, the hours, the like coordinating, trying to get to the events. Like they need to have somebody there that can take care of them and get them where they want to go.
If you could do anything the rest of your life, what are you doing? Is it bowling? Is it running? Is it biking? What is it?
I want to always have an adventure. I want to always be working towards something. I want to always try to be helping people. I want to try to be inspiring people. Like I think that that's something that lights me up and gets me out of bed in the morning. And I want to share as much as I can with people. So, yeah, I mean, as long as I have like that to look forward to, I think, my days will be happy and content.
How do people find you?
I'm on all the socials. I'm on the internet. They can look me up. It's at Mike Wardian on Instagram is probably where most people find me, but I have a website and all that kind of stuff. So, if people want to look me up and see what I'm doing, that's cool. I share like my runs and adventures and workouts that I do. And yeah, I'd love to connect with people and appreciate the opportunity.
You're awesome. I always love hanging out with you.